What is Eejanaika? Eejanaika is a steel roller coaster located at Fuji-Q Highland in Yamanashi, Japan. The ride is a 4D coaster, which essentially means the guests can rotate forwards and backwards in their seats independently of the track as they navigate the course. As a result, visitors can complete 360-degree flips at specific moments of the ride, giving the traditional roller coaster experience a fourth dimension. But not only that, at face value, Eejanaika is an extremely large-scale ride. In fact, Fuji-Q Highland have developed a reputation for building record-breaking or first-of-their-kind attractions. This all started back in 1966 with the debut of the Giant Coaster, the world's tallest roller coaster at the time. Measuring 40 meters, 131 foot tall, it kept its record for 11 years. Giant Coaster was followed by the construction of Double Loop in 1980. Double Loop opened as one of the first rides in Asia to feature two back-to-back vertical loops. From this point on, Fuji-Q Highland became committed to consistently building record-breaking attractions. In 1983, the park shattered the height record once more by constructing Moonsault Scramble, a ride that became the first to break the 200-foot height barrier, dropping guests 70 meters, 230 feet towards the ground. A decade later, in 1966, Fuji-Q wanted to break the height record once again. They built Fujiyama, the world's tallest roller coaster, standing 79 meters, 259 feet high. While in 2000, the park closed Moonsault Scramble to make room for their next record-breaking coaster. A year later, Dodonpa, the world's fastest roller coaster, opened to the public. Using compressed air, the ride launched guests from 0 to 172 km per hour, 107 miles per hour in just 1.8 seconds, making it the world's fastest accelerating roller coaster too. It was the years following this which saw Fuji-Q Highland search for their next big ride, a ride which would eventually become Eejanaika. At the same time as the construction of Dodonpa, the US theme park Six Flags Magic Mountain was building an all-new type of roller coaster, simply titled X, and a brainchild of aerodynamics engineer Alan Schilke. The ride opened in 2002 as the world's first fourth-dimension coaster. It suspended guests over each side of the track, allowing them to spin independently in their seats. But how did it do this? X and Eejanaika both feature 4 rails along their track. The inner 2 bear the weight of the train, while the outer 2 are used to control the rotation of the seats. During the layout, the relative height of the outer rails changes compared to the inner rails. This causes a rack, which is connected to the train, to move upwards or downwards. This, in turn, rotates a pinion attached to the seats, flipping them in the process. As a result, every seat experiences the same rotation pattern throughout the layout. But as a prototype ride, X ran into a whole host of issues. This led to the park investing millions of dollars to fix the attraction and filing a lawsuit against Aerodynamics soon after the initial opening of the ride. The lawsuit, combined with other financial pressure, eventually led to Arrow filing for bankruptcy at the end of 2001. Fortunately though, all was not lost. 2 years later, in 2003, a company called S&S purchased Arrow, acquiring their patents and designs, including the fourth dimension coaster. In 2004, reports surfaced that a second 4D coaster would be built in Asia, rumored to be at the Japanese theme park Fuji-Q Highland. Shortly after, it was confirmed that the park would be home to the world's second fourth dimension coaster. Despite its flaws, in a press statement, Fuji-Q said that they wanted their next addition to be something special to combat the competition of the Disney parks near Tokyo. Fortunately for the park, between the debut of X and Eejanaika, S&S were able to resolve many of the issues that plagued the original prototype. On X, the trains were excessively heavy and the mechanical components were prone to jamming. S&S designed lighter trains for Eejanaika and improved the mechanical aspects of the design, reducing the likelihood of problems occurring. After several years of refining and construction, the ride opened to the public on the 19th of July 2006, costing 3.5 billion yen, $30 million at the time. It was bigger and better than its predecessor. The name itself, Eejanaika, loosely translates to "Ain't It Great?", while the design of the attraction station and accompanying area has been inspired by Japanese culture. To board the ride, first, guests pass beneath a Shinto shrine-inspired gate and pass through an area themed to a historic Japanese shopping street. Guests then enter the queue line and make their way towards the station building. Throughout the wait, they hear the repetitive soundtrack which heavily emphasizes the ride's name. once they've passed through the majority of the queue, riders are greeted by a large and open station. Here, visitors board one of the ride's 2 trains. As each vehicle suspends guests over the side of the track, they must board from either the left or right hand side. The 5 cars seat 4 visitors per row, 2 either side, leading to a total of 20 riders per train. Once they've boarded, the experience begins with ride operators clapping and chanting the ride's name. Guests immediately move backwards, leaving the station building and completing a 180-degree turn in the process. Here, they begin to climb the lift hill. Riders ascend 76 meters, 249 feet high, towering above the rest of the park. They then crest the lift hill and enter a small dip. As this happens, riders begin to rotate forwards. At this point, they plummet down the first drop, facing directly towards the ground. The trains fall 65 meters, 213 feet at the maximum vertical angle of 89 degrees. Fortunately, before they hit the bottom of the drop, guests rotate to face the sky. It's here where the trains reach the maximum speed of 126 km per hour, 78 miles per hour. Riders then enter a large 60-meter, 197-foot tall inside Raven turn, flipping 360 degrees in their seats in the process. The trains then pass through a 0G roll, again completely rotating guests so that they remain upwards the entire time. Riders enter an overbank turn spanning across the lift hill before navigating a fly-to-lie element. This sees the riders and track rotate 180 degrees from facing forwards below the track to facing backwards above it. Guests then complete an outside Raven turn, rotating downwards as they dive towards the ground. The ride comes to an end with a second fly-to-lie, which quickly sees guests flip in their seats before they hit the final brake run. During the entire chaotic experience, guests complete 1,153 meters, 3,783 feet of track in roughly 44 seconds of actual ride time. As they do this, they're subjected to 3 physical track-based inversions, but 14 when taking the rotation of the seats into account. Through this, the ride unofficially claimed the record for the most inversions on any roller coaster around the world, though the official record is currently held by the Smiler at Alton Towers, a ride which features 14 true track-based inversions. Nevertheless, Eejanaika is one hell of a ride. It's taller, faster and longer than its predecessor, X, making it the world's largest 4D roller coaster ever built. A year after its debut, X underwent a large-scale refurbishment to become X2, fixing many of the original issues like Eejanaika did in the process. Since Eejanaika, Fuji-Q Highland have continued to break records. In 2011, they unveiled Takabisha, the world's steepest roller coaster with a first drop angled at 121 degrees, while in 2017, Dodonpa was renovated to become Dodonpa. During this, the ride's launch was improved and is now capable of accelerating riders from 0 to 180 km per hour, 112 miles per hour in just 1.56 seconds. More recently, the park has announced their next new project is currently in development. Though we don't know the specifics, the roller coaster is set to open in June of 2022 at the cost of 3.6 billion yen, roughly $34 million. Will this be another record-breaking roller coaster? Let us know what you think the park is building in the comments down below. Regardless, thank you for watching, and we'll see you all next time. A big thanks goes to Sammy, who's been editing the audio for these videos over the past few months. Could you tell? Is it better? Let me know what you think below.